I'm sending something for a simple that begins with Sharon, Sharon. I woke up in the morning, it's a new day, and I got bills that I gotta pay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Plan Your Trade Your Plan Morning Review with Great White for the 20th of May 2019. If you can hear me, please let me have your yes. If you can hear me, please let me have your yes so that we can start off. Good morning all. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. If you can hear me clearly, let me have your yes so that we can start off. Good morning. If you can hear me clearly, please let me have your yes so that I'll be sure that my audio is in order. If you can hear me, good morning, please let me have your yes so that I can start off. If you can hear me, please type in your yes. If you can hear me, type in yes so that I can start off. If you can hear me clearly, just type in yes. Okay. As always, I'll advise you go through this disclaimer so that you have an idea of what you're getting into. You have an idea of what you're going into. Trading foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubt. So that's set aside. We'll go into the fundamental news release. For today being Monday, Monday is basically calm. We don't have any upcoming news event, but into the early hours of the morning, we'll be having AUD monetary policy meeting minutes. This would have a heavy impact on the AUDUSD. As we can see, the AUDUSD spiked from its low overnight. As you can see, spiked overnight, and it's now currently at a key resistance area. So that out of the way, we start over with our major pair, our primary pair, which is the dollar index. And looking at the dollar index, we can see that the dollar index is in an upward move. It's basically bullish. It might be having a bit of a challenge at this high here, which is 98.10. It might have a bit of a challenge at this high here. So, having said that, we go down to our daily chart. So, in this, since we know that the dollar index has a bullish bias, you'll be looking for buying opportunities. Doesn't mean you can't take a short opportunity, but if you take a short opportunity, you have to be very sure you're looking at a correction down, and that there is enough space between the place you're taking your sell position and the next possible support level. So for now, the dollar index still looks bullish. It might correct a bit before continuing, and if it should come down, we have 97.87 first support. The second support comes in at, let me readjust this. The second support for the pair comes in around here, as at the 97.78 level, as the next level of support for the dollar index. But be well advised, the dollar index is in a bullish scenario. So the next pair we'll be looking at is gold. And looking at gold, gold seems to be in a bearish position. There's a trend line here that has been broken, as you can see here. This short-term trend line has been broken, but gold is heading towards, or probably sitting gold is probably sitting, excuse me, let me readjust this. If you look at the daily view on gold, you will notice that gold is sitting, this green moving average is the daily 200 moving average. Most times it serves as it's a stronger support than the other moving averages, because gold is sitting above it. And if you observe on the daily, that value comes in at 1276.42, which is just somewhere here. So it's acting as support for gold. So we have two variables here. Gold, as we can see, is in a downtrend, but we have this support at 1274.50, and we have this rising trend line. This trend line is coming all the way from back here. You see where the trend line is coming from? The trend line is coming all the way from back here. So there exists the possibility that if they find support here, they might move back up, or they might try to test this level and then move away from it. But should they break this trend line support here, this trend line support, then we may see gold move lower. But for now, gold is above a support structure. Next we'll be looking at is the USDCHF. I'm looking at the USDCHF. We can see the price is bearish for now. It's in a very, very deep correction, as you can see. If we go down to the 4 hours, what we have here is that this level here, 1.0124, was prior resistance, and if you add fib from this high to this low down here, the 38.2 comes in at 1.0117. So as you can see, price is already giving a bit of a reaction from this point. So if you get the bearish evidence here, then you may open a short position from this point down to this low. So that is it for the USDCHF. The next pair we'll be looking at is the EURUSD. The EURUSD is in a downtrend for now. It's in a downtrend, but it's sitting at a support area. Sitting at a support area. As you can see, the support comes in at 1.1154. Should this level hold as support, then you may see price correct higher a bit. But should this level fail as support, then we may be seeing the EURUSD move a bit lower. As we can see, we'll go to the 1 hour time frame and see the support level seems to be holding. But be well advised, this pair is in a downtrend. And in a downtrend, you're always advised to sell rallies in a downtrend. So if you take a long position here, you should be well advised you're countering the prevailing trend, and you need to know when to exit your position. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the pound dollar, GBPUSD. GBPUSD has been in a massive drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 days of straight drop on the GBPUSD. When we look at this GBPUSD, it has hit a structure. It has hit a sort of a structure here at this 1.2712 area. So this is not the trend line, but it seems to be acting as a trend line. I use this trend line as a guide. Price may from here bounce towards this major resistance area. This major resistance area. And should this area hold price, then you may see price move lower. That's between 127.73 to 1.2800. But a move above this 128.00 may change the bias from being down to being bullish. So we need to be aware of that. For now, the GBPUSD is sitting at a support structure, and you can see we already have a 4-hour bullish engulfing, which points to the possibility of a potential further up move. The next pair we'll be looking at is the EURGBP. The EURGBP has been clearly bullish. If we look at it from the daily point of view, it has been clearly bullish, very, very steep, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 straight trading days, like 2 weeks of bullish run. The deal with such moves is that it didn't have any major correction, so we might be seeing a correction very soon. So should that start, your first level of support comes in at this trend line. A break below this trend line might send price lower. So, hello, can you all still hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can still hear me clearly, type in yes. Okay. So we're looking at a situation where should price drop to this trend line, you may see a bounce up to test this previous high. Should this high hold as resistance, then price may break this trend line. Should it retest, then we may see price move further down. So that's the scenario for this pair. But we'll be well advised that this pair is still in a bullish, is still bullish. The only level that needs to be taken out that will tell you that this pair is no longer bullish is this area here, 86.78. A move below this level will change the bullish scenario to bearish. But as long as price stays above this key support, then there is a potential that it may continue its run up. The next pair we're looking at is the GBPCHF. Looking at the GBPCHF, as you can see, if you notice, most GBP pairs were clearly down because, like I've always said, the EURGBP has an inverse effect on GBP pairs. If you have a bullish EURGBP, most often than not, it causes a weak GBP across the board. So the GBPCHF has been down, as you can see, but now we have a bullish engulfing, as you can see. And if you understand candle patterns clearly, this three candle pattern is a morning star pattern. It's a bullish reversal pattern. It's a reversal pattern, as you can see, this long downtrend. So we might be seeing a bit of a correction up on this pair. As you can see, this massive drop, there was no bit of correction. So we need to see if we have a temporal low at this area here. If price gives it, if price comes down to this 1.2854 and it doesn't give way, then we may see price move back higher a bit. Then we might see the beginning of a correction further up on this pair. But for now, we just need to watch carefully. This will not be a good time to take short positions on the GBP pairs. The next pair we're looking at is the AUDUSD. And looking at the AUDUSD, it bounced off this support area at 60, didn't even come near it, it moved up. For now, the pair, as you can see, the pair is clearly correcting this massive downtrend for now. So a move above 69.32, that's where it is. This is a key resistance. A move above this resistance level might send price, and above this trend line might send price to test this 69.88. As long as price stays below 69.88, the bearish scenario is still intact. But your first warning will be if this 69.32 gives way on the AUDUSD. As you can see, we might see a bit of a pullback before price comes back to challenge this level again. So for now, you just need to be careful with this pair. We have a bottom here. Should price come back down and can't go below that level, then you might see a move up on this pair. So that's what you need to be aware of on the AUDUSD. The next pair we'll be looking at is the USDJPY. The USDJPY has sorry about that. The USDJPY is bearish, but it's correcting up a bit for now. Using fib from this top to this low, price is reacting from the 38.2. But that doesn't mean you should engage in a sell position, because as you can see, this is what happened on Friday. Price broke above this resistance structure here, gave a double top here, and dropped to retest it. Then price moved back up. So you might see a scenario where price may do this. You see this box area here between 1110 and 109. Price may come back into this box area, and should they find support, then they might move higher. So that's what you need to be a little bit aware of. But should price go below this 109.95, then it may come back down lower, maybe to test the structure level down here. So that is what we have on the USDJPY. The next we'll be looking at is the Euro Yen. Looking at the Euro Yen, For now, price is, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. We'll go to the 4-hour time frame. I can't say this price is still in a downtrend because there's this trend line that has been broken by price. And we might see a bit of a continuation up on this pair. As you can see, this was the first low, came back, gave this formation here, and it's moving up. So I would say you look for long positions on this pair of the lower time frame. The next pair we'll be looking at is the pound dollar pound yen. Looking at the pound yen, it moved off this support area between 139.78 and 139.55. As you can see, giving up this bullish formation. So we might see a bit of a pullback. We might see a bit of a pullback into this area. And should this area hold, then we might see price move back higher. So that is it for this pound yen. It's in a bit of a correction. As long as this low holds, we might see price move further up. The next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro AUD. As you can see, the Euro AUD, after days of rally, has finally started dropping, as you can see. So now, what you need to wait for is a bit of a pullback up. Although some people took some short positions, if you look at it on the 1 hour, after this drop, it pulled up and some people took some short positions. So the best thing to wait for is pullback. You can't take a short position, you wait for pullback into this area and a move lower. You wait for a pullback into this area and a move lower on this pair. So that is the situation for this pair for now. That's the situation on this pair for now. So you wouldn't take a short position here because one, the Euro AUD is at a support structure and the AUD USD is at testing this major resistance here. So as you can see, there is a possibility price may get rejected from here before moving back up. And should that happen, that will cause a rally up on this Euro AUD. So the best bet is to wait for a rally here, then take a short position. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPAUD. The same thing too. The GBPAUD is in a downtrend, so you need to wait for a rally and a rejection to take a short position on this pair, because for now this pair is clearly in a downtrend. As you can see, as at the time I drew this gap down, this level was support, price was still further up here. So now this level is going to become a resistance level, that is 84.31. It's going to be a resistance level. So if price moves back above this resistance, then it may move higher. But you should bear in mind that should you get a weak Euro GBP, this GBP AUD may not continue in a downtrend. Instead of and if the AUD USD should become bullish, your best shot, that is if you have a bullish AUD USD, you know you will have a weak Euro AUD and a GBP AUD. Your best shot will be against the Euro AUD instead of the GBP AUD. So you need to keep that in mind. Next pair we'll be looking at is the USDCAD. Looking at the USDCAD, it ran into this structure and dropped. So now it's coming into this 200 moving average on the 4 hour and this support structure. So as you can see, this pair has clearly been in a range. Let me draw this trend line from here to here. Change the color, make it a bit purple. As you can see, this pair has been in a sort of an uptrend, sort of range, sorry. It's been in a range of sorts, as you can see. It's been in a range of sorts, as you can see. So this pair basically, see what it does down here. If it gives you a bullish situation, then you take a move back up. Then the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPCAD. The GBPCAD is clearly in a downtrend. You can see it is cleared this level. But you should bear in mind, like I've said, you see this support structure here at 1.7142 is very important. Price has broken below it. If price can't go back above it, because now this level will become resistance. If price goes back above it, then we may see price move higher. But if price fails to break above this level, then this is what you might see. You might see a situation like this. But bear in mind, the Euro AUD, the EURGBP is about to experience a bit of a correction. Should that start to play out, you do not want to be shorting any GBP cross. The GBP pairs are pretty volatile, and you should be aware of that. Should the EURGBP, which is already experiencing here, should the EURGBP drop further, you do not want to be in a GBP pair short. So that is it for today. That is it for today. Is there any pair anybody would want me to look at? You could just type it in. Let me look at it briefly. I have 5 minutes or thereabout. Any pair you would want me to look at? Maybe I didn't touch it. Any pair from anybody? Okay, since I don't have any pair from anybody, I think I will be calling it a day. Anybody with any pair that you would want me to look at, maybe I didn't look at it, you could type it in. Let me look at it before I go. If not, I will be calling it a day. So, I've handled gold. I've already looked at gold. You have to wait for the link. You have to wait for the recording. Probably you came in late. I've already looked at gold. So, gold, for now, let me just briefly go through it. Gold might be in a bit of a correction. It's in a bit of a correction. As you can see, it's about to give a double bottom. So if you get a bullish evidence here, then you may see price rally up to this 1283. Because gold at this level, on the daily time frame, I have the daily 200 moving average there. It's a dynamic support. It's acting as dynamic support now. So that is it for today. I wish you all a beautiful trading day and wish you all a blessed week in advance. Thank you all for coming.